sometimes I have to wait long because I find that it cuts off the beginning of what I say. Anyway, hello. Um, I have to like hurry up and film this because I'm supposed to be going out at 10. So then I was like, actually, I was supposed to go out at 9, and then I was like, well, it would be nice to make a video, but um, I'm going out at 9, so I can't. And then the person who I was supposed to be going out to was like, let's make it 10. And then I was like, okay, cool, like, let's take this video then. The universe was obviously saying, stop making excuses and um, go out and make the video. Now my current tripod, this is actually quite interesting. So each time I could have a different tripod. My current tripod is just a bunch of books and a candle at the top. I'll take a picture and then show it to you. Maybe I should just, yeah, no, I won't take a picture. I'll just show it to you. And it's actually quite interesting because I actually say actually quite a lot. The books that I found, I'm looking at them now, they're really interesting. Okay, not like baby and childcare, that's not interesting. And knitting stitches. My friend Heather likes knitting, so maybe she'll be interested in that book. Yeah, Heather. And then the Little Book of Michelangelo. I didn't know we had that book, so that's quite interesting. And there's recipe books under this table. This thing is actually so cool. It's like a 3D glasses and everything, and then you see all these different things, like all these different places, and it's in 3D. I remember when my mom, I don't know where she got it from, Germany or something. When she gave it to me, I was like, what? This is so cool. But anyway, okay, so the reason for this video is because I wanted to do it on emotion. So, well, I don't know if you found this, but people often associate laughing with happiness and crying with sadness. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. In our society, I keep saying in our society, but in our society, crying is seen as bad. I know guys aren't allowed to cry, which I think is kind of ridiculous, because honestly, crying is something that you actually can't help. And I think a lot of the time crying gets associated with weakness. So if somebody is crying is seen as weak. The worst for me, it's so irritating, is when if I'm crying about something, that's honestly how I cope with stress. And like now I've learned how to incorporate, like accept that, because I mean, that's just me. The worst is if you're crying about something because you're upset, and then somebody comes up to you and they're like, "Oh no, like don't cry, don't cry, don't cry," and it's like, why can't I cry? Like people don't, because people have put names to emotions. We like to categorize everything. So crying is, it means that you're sad, or like you don't want people to be sad. That's another thing. People don't want, they want to protect you from certain emotions. Like, oh no, we must always feel happy. But the thing is that the goal in life shouldn't be to be happy. It should be to be in peace with yourself. Like, be peaceful, feel whole. In order to feel whole, you have to experience both the good and the bad. So you can't just be like, oh, like, I cried, so now my life is a mess because I experienced sadness. Like, for me personally, this year, I've gone through like a hell of a lot of different emotions. Yeah. So it hasn't just been happy, happy, happy. People who are, I don't know how, I don't know a word, like content, they they let them experience everything, and they don't beat themselves up for feeling sad or happy or laughing. I mean, I'm the sort of person, honestly, who if something bad happens, I start laughing, and I can't help it. If somebody comes up to me and says like so and so died, like I just laugh, and it's not because I'm actually find that funny. Like that's the thing. Like I do find it funny, but it's not because because laughing has been associated with something you happy when you're laughing. But no, actually it's not. It's just a thing that I do. It's like lots of people do that. You laugh randomly, you cry randomly, and like you shouldn't have to justify those emotions because they're normal. So my advice is that if you do cry, don't feel bad about it. Rather just, like, I don't know, for me, I cried a lot as a child, and then teachers and stuff, I can actually still remember them. They used to make me feel so bad about myself. And I know, like, some people actually can't help it. I literally can't help it. I don't know if it's because I can feel, I don't know, I can feel like an empath can feel moods and stuff. So I'm actually not sure why it happens, but it just happens. And I know that in in prep school, I cried a lot. In high school, I kind of just suppressed that and then like stopped crying. But in prep school, like I cried a lot, and then teachers would make me feel so bad about myself. And like the problem with that, if you know somebody who cries a lot, don't make them feel like that's wrong, because for some people that kind of is, you're criticizing them as a person. They become ashamed of themselves, because I think I became quite like embarrassed by that. You kind of beat yourself up for something that you literally cannot help. That is how people cope with stress. I've realized that, if I've got like 100 tests or something, I have to sit down and cry about it. I'll cry and then I'll literally be fine. Like, it's just how I cope. If I don't, I don't know how I'll be able to cope. It's the same, like my one friend, she says that she wants to cry sometimes, but she doesn't know how to. I don't know if it's because she's kind of suppressed that. Me, sometimes I cry and there's actually no reason. I don't do this often as much as I normally do anymore. I did it a lot, as I said, when I was younger. But like, I know the other day it happened. I was at my friend's house, and then we were having a good time, like a happy time, everything. Like, we slept over, and then the next day, I don't know, it just happened. Like, I didn't feel anything. I just like was crying, and then like, at least she is somebody who, Shannon, you understand me, but she is somebody who actually understands that. So it's the worst when you are crying about something and you like, as I said, you can't always help it. It just happens, and then you are with somebody who doesn't understand that. So my advice is, if you are watching this, I said this earlier, but if you're watching this, try to be more open-minded about crying. It's not a bad thing. It's just, the person isn't weak. The person's gonna they can, literally in 5 minutes they could be fine. Not even fine. Like, they'll be, I don't know, they'll be like happy, I suppose, if that's what you want to achieve. But yeah, just, the clock makes so much noise, but just be open-minded about it. Don't treat them differently. Be like, okay, cool, like, whatever. Everyone does that. So, and then just go on with your day. Be nice, but don't call the person out for crying. It's really embarrassing, actually. I suppose if something actually is wrong, it's nice to be like, oh, like, what's wrong? But don't be like, stop crying, stop crying, stop crying. It irritates me when people do that. But yeah. So also, if you're a parent and your child is sensitive and cries a lot, don't teach them that that's wrong. Actually, just don't. That is the worst thing you can do. At least, like, my mom has been someone who has been open-minded about that. But I know other moms who haven't been open-minded about that. And as a result today, I know some people who, because they haven't expressed emotion and stuff, they kind of feel like basket cases. And then when they do break down, because if you keep all that emotion in you, eventually you will break down, and you become you become like a mess. Not a mess, but I'm just saying that you kind of explode, and then you think, oh, like, I'm terrible, like, oh, what's happening with me and everything, which is like, that is because you haven't, as a parent, you haven't accepted them. Accept your child. If she cries, if she laughs, like, Just be loving. Don't be like, oh no, you have to be this. Oh no, you have to be that. Like, where is this rule book of what somebody is supposed to be? The same, like I said, I brought this up earlier, but guys aren't allowed to cry because, I don't know, they aren't men anymore or something. Like, I don't understand the logic or reasoning behind that. I don't know, I think that must be hard to, like, actually... I mean, at least girls are supposedly allowed to cry, but I can't even imagine what it must be like not to be able to. It's horrible, because I think crying and laughing and showing emotions, it's... I don't know how to put this, but it's kind of like your soul is coming out. Emotions feel like... It doesn't always have to do with what you're thinking and stuff. It's just like, it is. It shows that you're human. Although, like, animals and plants and stuff apparently also cry, but as I said, like, if you don't cry or laugh or all of those things, you aren't being your true self, and there's always going to be a part of yourself which you suppress, and that is, you are suppressing part of your soul, your true self. So yeah, laugh and cry, and what other emotions are there? Be angry. Yeah, be angry. Anger is apparently good. But yeah, just like accept every emotion and don't beat yourself up for feeling them, because it's normal. Yep, that's it. Goodbye. You can see, this is my tripod. I had the phone over here. And I was leaning against the candle. See, Knitting Stitches. Heather, you might want to read that. There's Michelangelo. I say I'm going to read it, but I'm actually not. This is just going to stay as it is.